Hey guys, Ultra Maximus back with another Transformers review. Today we're taking a look at another Robots in Disguise figure, and it's Sideswipe. Now I'm going to warn you, it's about dusk, and my parrots are kind of calling out, so you may hear some caws in the background. I've been waiting for this figure since the first wave of Transformers Robots in Disguise figures. We have not had a Warrior class Sideswipe until now, and quite frankly, I was wondering if we were going to get one. So I was really excited to see him on the pre-order list. I did get this figure from Big Bad Toy Store. I got this figure and Autobot Jazz for, I think it was about $39 for both figures shipped, which is about retail cost plus shipping, so it's not a bad deal at all. This figure is definitely interesting. I really like the vehicle mode from the pictures. However, there are some variations from what we see on the box itself versus what we get with the figure, and let's take a look at that. So let's go ahead and get started and look at the packaging. So here we have Sideswipe in the packaging, and overall it looks okay. It's not quite what I was expecting out of this figure. The sculpt is okay. There's something about the head that just doesn't look quite right to me. I do like the red plastic. That looks really cool, but there are some key differences I've noticed on the design of the character and what we get in the toy, as well as some of the paint apps that's shown on the box versus what we get in final production. Looking at the blister pack, it's about the same of what we've got before. We got Transformers on the side. Here's a piece of artwork for Sideswipe. We got the Transformers Robots in Disguise there, vehicle mode, and robot. Just kind of a quick close-up. So there he is. There is that. There is that. Side of the package just has the same artwork with Sideswipe. Nothing big, nothing over there. At the bottom, it says who else is available. We got Bumblebee and Prime and Jazz. And the interesting thing, I just kind of noticed, these figures were made in Vietnam, not China. And I don't know if the previous ones were. I'll have to go back and look. That was kind of interesting to me. And here's the back of the package. Just like everything else we have seen in the Robots in Disguise line, we got the instructions, vehicle and robot, and how to play the game. No bio on the figure itself. So, yeah, is what it is. Now, some of the big things I've noticed, the artwork on the vehicle and on the robot itself, the kind of Asian artwork, writing, I guess, is about the same color as the vehicle in the robot, so it looks very faded, kind of like the artwork there on the cartoon. However, on the figure, I've noticed it's a light pink color, and that's very obvious when you look at the wheel well right there versus the wheel well on the picture of the car itself. So that is a huge change. Another change I've noticed is that you can see the red clips on the wheels. However, they do not exist on the toy itself. They have black clips, which, that's fine. I like that. One key thing that is missed, we've got this really cool light blue ring. The ring does exist on the vehicle, but it's not painted. That's kind of unfortunate. And the other thing, the forearm, completely different than what we get on the actual toy. And that's probably due to design limitations. So let's go ahead and get Sideswipe out of the package and see what we think. So here we have Sideswipe out of the package, and quite frankly, I'm a little disappointed in the figure. While I said I do like the color of the red plastic, this figure, unlike the Jazz figure, feels very cheap, very thin, and almost feels like a knockoff figure. And there are some engineering points that I'm going to point out here that just make for a bad figure and some breakage. I don't see this figure lasting long in a kid's hand at all, unfortunately. He's a very thin figure. He's very small. The sculpt is okay. It's interesting, but it's got some major flaws in the shoulders and in the head. And he's got some big old honking feet, too. Very strange. And he's got this nasty, huge sword, which is pretty cool. It looks a little bit too big for him, though, which is a little unfortunate. And getting him to stand proper. There we go. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about this figure that's just off to me. He's got great big clown feet. His head is just a little too elongated and just seems like it could snap very easy. So, I mean, it is on a ball joint, but it really only looks forward. If you try to pull it any farther back, it's just going to snap. And if you look, let's see if I can... I mean, it doesn't even turn to the side very well. It's on a very, very thin little piece of plastic, and that head is going to snap off in a kid's hand. There's no doubts about it. The other issue I've got with the figure is the shoulders. Part of the transformation, this is going to come down, but it doesn't lock into place up here. And that just irritates the crap out of me that they did that. That's just a bad design. I don't like it at all. I do like the pink over the red plastic. That looks pretty decent. I like the blue paint picks. Everything looks cool there. The black, I like the paint picks on the side. But man, look at those feet. Humongous. The rest of articulation's pretty standard. Elbow joints, knee joints. There's no waist swivel. It's just kind of, yeah. He's just kind of there. Again, disappointing in the overall design of this figure. So let's go ahead and compare him to some other bots. Here's Sideswipe next to the Robots in Disguise, Bumblebee. Here he is next to the Robots in Disguise, One Step Changer, Fix-It. Here's Sideswipe next to the Takara Transformers Adventure, Nemesis Prime. Here's RID Sideswipe next to his Wavemate, Autobot Jazz. And finally, here he is next to the Robots in Disguise 3-Step Changer, Optimus Prime. Here we've got Sideswipe in his vehicle mode, and frankly, I think this is the better of the two modes. However, there are paint issues. As you may or may not be able to tell, it's multicolored red. Why? Red plastic, red paint, red paint, red paint. That's because the really cool smoky windows are the same plastic on the doors and the hood, so they painted it red and it's all offset. I think a full metallic paint finish would have been a better choice for this figure, but it is what it is. It does look good. It's designed like a really nice Lambo, and I do appreciate it. Love the writing on the side. If you know what that says, definitely leave a message. I'd love to know. I like the black back there, nothing on the back. It rolls okay. This is really just going to sit on the shelf and look cool that way. So kind of a close-up of the front, if we can get it to focus. Really nice paint picks. I really do like it. Again, I love the writing. If you know what it says, I'd love to hear it. Definitely. He also comes with this sword, which I've noticed a lot of the figures are coming with melee weapons instead of guns, like they're trying to get away from guns or something. I would have thought this would have clipped here. It doesn't. You can, if you look at the bottom, he's pretty much a shell former. You can flip this up and then put the sword in here like thus. Oh, if I flip that back down. But the problem is it's offset, and it just drives me crazy. But I guess it is what it is. For comparison, here's Robots in Disguise Sideswipe with his Wavemate, Autobot Jazz. Here's Robots in Disguise Sideswipe with the Robots in Disguise Drift. These two bots look pretty cool side by side. Here we've got Sideswipe next to the Robots in Disguise Steeljaw. And here's the RID Sideswipe with the MP10U KO Ultra Magnus. So is Sideswipe a figure that you want in your Transformers collection? Sadly, I'm going to say this could be a very easy pass, just because of the engineering fails of this robot mode. The shoulders are just really bad for me, but it's not a deal breaker. But that head, oh my lord, it feels like it wants to snap off. And as far as playability, I cannot recommend that for a kid. If it's an adult collector and it's going to sit on a shelf, that's fine. But this is going to be $15 thrown away if you give this to a child under 8 years old. It's going to be like Soundwave from G1. The head's going to snap right off the thing. Quite frankly, I think the Jazz figure is the better built of the two in this wave, which is kind of sad, but I guess it is what it is. So there it is, the 2015 Robots in Disguise Warrior Class Sideswipe. If you guys like this video, thumbs it up. If you hate this video, thumbs it down. Definitely a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. What do you guys think of this figure? Love it? Hate it? Have you been waiting for it? Are you disappointed? Are you thrilled? Let me know. Definitely subscribe to my channel, share my videos. I do appreciate it. And as always, look for more videos in the future.